Well, if you were fired for refusing to get a COVID vaccine, you might want to talk to a lawyer and lawyer up, because a jury has just awarded $12 million to a woman who was fired for refusing to take the jab. A Michigan jury has done this, sent a powerful message to companies across the country. They awarded $12 million to Lisa Domsky, a former employee at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, who says she was fired because she refused to get the jab on religious grounds. That's right, $12 million, including $10 million in punitive damages. Why? Because Blue Cross wouldn't respect her faith. That's right. Now let's break this down. So Dominsky worked remotely as an IT specialist during the pandemic, a job that she'd held for over 30 years. 3 decades. So here's someone with a long, solid career working from home, posing no physical risk to her coworkers, right? Why does she have to get a jab at home? What the hell? And yet when she raised her Catholic beliefs with Blue Cross, she says her request for religious exemption was outright dismissed. Blue Cross argued she didn't have a sincerely held religious belief. Really? Think about that for a moment. A company trying to judge the sincerity of an individual's faith, right? They're like, well, we're gonna test this out here. How strong is your faith? We don't think it's sincerely held. So you're gonna have to get the COVID jab. So when did corporate America start to play the role of religious authority? It's fascinating. This isn't just a local story, though, because the case represents a much larger national issue. Millions of Americans felt the same thing, of course, when mandates swept through workplaces in 2021 and 2022. People who had strong beliefs, whether religious or otherwise, it didn't really matter. Medical, personal. Who are you to tell me that I have to put something in my body? Were often told to fall in line or they would lose their jobs. And what's more troubling, Blue Cross Blue Shield's response in the court filings is actually pretty stunning when you read it. The company denied discrimination, and they said that Domsky's beliefs weren't sincere. So how the F do they know? What?
Sincere?
Yeah, that's... no, it wasn't discrimination. We just didn't believe the sincerity of her Catholic faith.
Do they go through all Catholics and give them a grade?
Apparently. Okay. No, of course they didn't.
Did they talk to God? Where did they get that information?
Yeah, God, we want to check up on this employee named Lisa. Can you verify the temerity of her religious beliefs? Does she go to mass on Saturday nights at midnight? Anyway, so they're even considering an appeal right now after they lost. For many Americans, of course, mandates weren't just about health. They became an overreach, a violation of deeply held principles, beliefs, a violation of our freedoms. I mean, look at the freaking trucker convoy in Canada, for crying out loud. That's what this was all about. And this verdict could send shockwaves, and it could open doors for hundreds of thousands of these kinds of lawsuits, and I am there for it. I would love to see this. So lawyer up if this happened to you. And by the way, coming up in a little bit here on the show, we do have a story with a pilot who worked for Airbus. And we're going to interview Tim McAdams because his story is heartbreaking. He was mandated, that he had to, as a helicopter pilot for Airbus, he had to get a COVID vaccine, and it destroyed his life. And we're going to talk with Tim coming up here in just a little bit.
I think, yes, I'm here for it. And I want these people to be paid out. But we have to acknowledge that that is going to hurt all of us because insurance premiums will go up as these insurance companies have to pay out these lawsuits. They will charge us for it. And so it's not, it's victorious for some, but not for all of us. So we can't ignore that we're going to have to pay for our own government's mistakes. I'm sorry to be a downer there, but can't let that one go.
Well, that's how it usually is, right?
That I'm a downer?
Yeah, you're a downer, but also that you're accurate in this. No, I'm saying.
You want to go?
I'm saying that's how it usually is.
Higher than medium.
The government
energy today.
The government.
Okay.
I'm saying that the government, we end up having to foot the bill for the government's mistakes.
Okay. Yes. Not that Natalie's usually a downer.
You're not a
He
downer.
did not mean that.
Not a downer at all.
Right?